really good.
It's your girl Dani DMC.
It's your boy T-Bill.
Today we want to start with a little bit more of a serious video.
Oh, okay.
Shut up. It's never fully serious with T-Bill, which is good. That's why I love him. But basically what kind of kickstarted this for us was we did a video. It was our second video ever together, and now it has like 2.1 million views. And I think because it,
thank you guys.
yes, for real. If you're a real one and loyal and you love us, we really appreciate that. We're so grateful, and we're so grateful we've been given a platform.
For sure.
But we received a lot of hate. Like, there was so much hate in the comments. And for me, like, it didn't bother me at all. I feel like you didn't even look at it for real.
You can't have love without hate.
Yeah. And I'm, like, used to hate, too. Just growing up, being plus size, and you know what I mean? I'm sure you being a black man in this country, like, we both have experienced hate in our own right. But you know, it got to a point where like his family was calling me, his sister and his mom, like, I can't handle this, like, you know, it's a lot. And it just made me thinking, and just reading some of the comments, it's real, you know what I mean? That hate is real. And so we wanted to take that and put a positive spin on it and talk about, you know, what it's like being in an interracial relationship and doing this Q&A for you guys.
Yep.
So we saw a couple videos that did like the 8 most common interracial, or the 8 most common questions interracial couples are asked.
Yep.
And they were good and they were funny, but
they was alright.
No, they were good.
We gonna show y'all how it's done. We gonna show y'all
that part. But also, we wanted to include you guys. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to give us questions that you wanted to know about being in an interracial relationship, or you know, anything that had to do with that. And we got flooded with questions. So many questions, and a lot of them fell into that category of the 8 questions that are you're most commonly asked in an interracial couple. Like, we got asked all of those. So we are gonna get started for you guys. This is definitely gonna be a juicy one, an intense one, but our whole point in this is, you know, bringing unity and spreading positivity in doing this. That's our plan, right, big fella?
Unity.
So we are gonna get started for you guys. We have all the questions in front of us, so please make sure you subscribe. And what else can they do, little daddy?
Like, comment below.
Yes, give us all the love. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Okay, so first question. Did any of your family members say anything because she is white / he is black?
I'll answer that first. My family didn't say anything because, you know, like how I was raised, diverse community, diverse atmosphere. I was around a lot of different races. You know, I played basketball growing up, so that allowed me to see the world a little bit, and you know, so my family's pretty open-minded. You know, I got some cousins and stuff. Maybe that was a little like,
just like, who is that white girl?
Yeah, but outside of that, you know, you can't help that.
Yeah, and that doesn't bother me or like affect me at all, because you know, people end up loving me. I'm Dani DMC, baby. Did any of my family members say anything because Tyler is black? Absolutely not. I have been in and around the black community my entire life. I would say 98.9% of my friends are black, and I've never been with another man besides a man of the black race. Yes. So my family definitely has never said anything. It wasn't really a conversation in my household. My family is dope as fuck, and I realize how privileged and blessed I am to be a white woman and come from a dope ass white family that does not have, that isn't brainwashed by the American society. So I'm very grateful for that. It's like, we don't have to talk about race that much with our families. Like, I feel like my family loves you so much, and they talk to you about business and your dreams and your aspirations, and like, you know, you and my mom always have like your little, you know, one-on-one moments where you're like talking about life and stuff like that. And I feel like it's not something that, like, I feel like our families have created like a safe zone for us, kind of. Like, even with your family too, we never talk about me being white.
Next question.
Okay, next question. Has Dani ever been to the family cookout? If so, how did it go?
Yeah, Dani's been to a couple of the family cookouts.
I've been to the cookout.
One of the first ones, she met my grandma, rest her soul.
Yeah.
And
She asked me how many kids I was gonna have, and I was like, I don't know, I think maybe like 2 or 3. And she was like, no, you need to have more than that. That was like one of the first things she said to me. She's like, no, you need to have more than that, which is such an Italian thing to say too. Like, I'm Italian for those of you that don't know. And yeah, I just feel like that's something that's so Italian to say. Like, no, you need to have more kids than that.
Yeah, but the cookout went pretty well. I think at that time we were still eating meat and chicken.
Yeah.
So I kind of pigged out. But yeah, it was dope. You know, introducing her to the family, letting everybody vibe with her and see how she really is, you know, and not to let them judge a book by its cover. And everyone was pretty open, and you know, there wasn't anything weird or anything, so.
Yeah. The first family cookout I ever went to was actually the first time I ever met your whole family. I had met your younger sister, Dani, before, but I hadn't met your mom, anyone. So like when I walked in, it was like being thrown into the wolves, but I'm like a fight or flight type of person, you know what I'm saying? And I'm super outgoing. I don't ever get shy. And I love meeting new people, so it was awesome. But I remember when you were like, go out to the grill with my mom, like go grill with my mom, and I'm like, okay. Like I definitely was nervous because your boyfriend's mom, like, you know what I mean? You want to make a good impression, but moms love me.
Next question, how did you two meet, and what's your favorite quality about each other?
Okay, so do you want to say how we met? I really feel like we should do a story time and talk about like the story of how we met, because it's a very juicy, good story, and like we can't tell you right now because we don't have enough time.
Okay, yeah, so we'll save that part. What's your favorite quality?
Well, if you can tell them like quick version how we met.
We'll just say it. We met at school.
Yeah, we met in college.
You know, I was a hooper. She was just thick, you know, one of them Jones, you know, you see over there, and that just be.
Shut up, you're so annoying.
But
yeah, comment below if you guys want us to do how we met video. I feel like it would be bomb.
So what's your favorite quality about me?
Okay, my favorite quality about
you. Just one, don't give a whole story.
Okay. I would say is your patience.
Cool. My favorite quality about you.
Don't give a, I'm a talker if you guys can't tell.
Yeah. My favorite quality about you is...
Don't say something freaky.
Your loyalty.
Okay.
You're my best friend.
I rock with that. You're my best friend too.
How do you respond to rude/hateful comments when it comes to our relationship?
So the stuff online, like when people say rude stuff online, like that really doesn't get to me at all. It doesn't affect me because it's the same as like being bullied as a kid. Like I went through that already, so what people say can't affect me. Like I have a self-love bubble around me and my man, so you can't get in here. But if someone says something rude or hateful in person, which I feel like we haven't really encountered.
Popoff.com.
I feel like we're so cool that people just like us. But yeah, I like Tyler will be calm and patient and like maybe take it, walk away, or like calmly explain to you like why that's not okay. I, on the other hand, am not that poised. That's why I said my favorite quality about him is patience. Because I don't play that. Like I'm real Italian when it comes to my family, and Tyler is my family. Like I do not play about anyone trying to disrespect me or mine. You know what I'm saying?
How I respond to rude or hateful comments is I try to find the positive in it initially. Just always like, I mean, are they really telling me something that I can build on and fix? Or is it just something that is purely hate and their emotion? So once I, you know, see if I can find the positive in it, and I do, then from there it's either I let it go or I comment maybe, but like I never comment on anything yet.
Yeah.
So next question. Do people ever give you looks?
He literally just spit on my eyelash. Do people ever give you looks? I feel like people always look at me because like I'm that bitch.
Cool, we'll leave it there. Cool, we'll leave it there. She gonna go in. I would say yes, when we're walking down the street, people definitely give us looks from time to time. But what I will say is, I don't acknowledge them. I don't know. It's just so hard. This day and age, you can't even tell if people are being serious, sincere. You can't tell what people are trying to do now. Like,
and you can't tell if people are looking at us because they think we're cool. Like, we both are really into fashion. We dress really well. You can't tell if they're on some hate shit. Like, why are you two together?
So you kind of drown it out. You keep moving. They really stop you and ask for your time. You try and be courteous and kind.
Yeah.
And then from there, if they're still, you know, if they're on something negative or whatever, you know, you just usher it out and keep it moving.
Yeah, I will say, I feel like when we travel, sometimes we do get looks. Like in America, like whenever I feel like I went to the school in New Orleans, I felt like we got some looks there. Florida, I feel like the worst looks we ever got in America was in the Tampa airport.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, you said in America.
Yeah.
When we was overseas, that was
where?
Was it St. Lucia?
Yeah, you got looks?
I mean, you got looks, and they was looking at me like, who was he?
Yeah, I will say, I think what's like good for us so far is all the places we've been to out of the country have been predominantly Black islands, which like makes us both feel more comfortable, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, like I get a lot of male attention because, you know, not that I, but I will say our first vacation ever together was to the Caribbean. We went to Atlantis and like around the Bahamas and stuff, and the women were not feeling you, girl. Which, like, I will never get mad at any woman, especially woman of color, for hating on me. Like, you are allowed to have your anger and your opinion, because I know that all white women are not as dope as me and aren't as strong of an ally as I am, or use my white privilege to fight for the Black community the way I do. So I get that, and I will never hate anyone for hating on me.
So to segue off that last question,
yes.
Do you think you're treated any different by Black people because of me, good or bad?
No. Okay, so I think a lot of white women, when they, or not, I don't want to generalize, not a lot, but I think some white women, when they date Black men, like it's like their second or third Black boyfriend or their first or something like that. For me, it's like I have been, like I said, in and around the Black community since I was like 5 or 6 years old. I've never had a crush on someone that looked like me, like even as a kid or anything like that. So I feel like a lot of white women, like their boyfriend is like the Black community for them, right? And I think that's why our relationship is so dope, is that's not my reality. Like when Tyler goes away and he's at work, like I'm surrounded in the Black community. I'm fighting and working for the Black community. So like I've never, like there's been times in my life where I feel like I have had some issues with Black women not rocking with me right away. But then once they get to know me and who I really am and what I stand for, and that, you know, I stand with them more than I even stand with people that have my skin tone, then there's never an issue. So
boom,
no,
we're gonna leave it there. How do you guys talk about a situation where you may have been racist? Because all white people are racist. Okay, so this comment, I really wanted this video to be real. You know, with Q&As, you can look through your questions and like not answer them all. You can be like, oh, this is too intense, I'm not answering this. But if you guys are a subscriber of my channel, you know that's not me. I'm authenticity 100% of the time. So when I saw this question, I was like, we definitely have to include this, because this person put all white people are racist, which, here's the issue, right, for me is I am a little bit different. Again, how I grew up, like I was bullied, like brutally bullied by white kids, and I feel like it did something to my psyche at a young age, and I became really supported by the Black community, and then that led it into like an infatuation, and then that led into learning about the history and culture of the Black community. And I really do believe that Black people are the divine race, and they're what we came from. Like, don't give them too much. Don't give them too much.
Okay. Let me not go too much. But I'm just saying, my beliefs are different than the typical white person.
Oh.
So let me finish.
I'm not. I'm letting you finish.
Let me just finish what I'm trying to say. So,
get it out.
Like when I was a kid, like my mom used to always say to me, like, you can't spread hate with hate. So she'd always be like, you're racist towards white people. Like, you can't be like that. Because I did have a lot of like build up hate and negative energy for white people. And that's still something as an adult I'm trying to work through and allow more white people into my life. But I would say that I struggle with similar beliefs, that sometimes I feel like majority of white people aren't in support of other people. Okay. I will say that more than racist.
How do you handle racism when I'm not around?
Okay, so how do I handle racism when you're not around? So again, like I said, Tyler is not the symbol of the Black community for me, right? So
thank God.
Yeah, that I feel like that's where interracial relationships get tough, if that's like you're the key person of that or whatever. And like if Tyler and I were to break up tomorrow and never be together again, I'm going to spend the rest of my life fighting for the Black community until I die. So he is not the symbol of that.
Woo! Right? That's beautiful, babe. So is the hate
real? Is
the hate worse here or in Chicago?
Will you answer it? You're
I'm going to answer
all these questions like
they were three in a row for you.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, well, you answer this one first.
I would say the hate is definitely worse in Chicago.
Yeah.
Simply because Y'all need to fix this in Chicago.
Yeah.
But segregation still exists.
Yeah.
Like how?
Not only does it still exist, it's so bad.
Like we still
Everyone's separated.
We still got slavery going on overseas. We still got racism and segregation going on in the U.S. Like all these things we saw in history and in the past when we were growing up and reading these books.
It's not over. Yeah.
It's still going on, guys.
A lot of people want to make it
play your part.
Yeah.
Play your part. 100%. That is one of the main reasons why we wanted to create this page too, is to play our part and show that equality and unity has no color. It has no religion. It has no boundary.
Yeah.
Okay?
The more we separate ourselves, the more damage we do. The more we come together, like in unite, that is when change happens.
Oh, you're so beautiful. Girl. Okay. Are you guys planning on having kids is the next question.
Wouldn't you like to know? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that one on hold. Okay, guys, we're not gonna give you guys too much info about us. Yeah, can you put the thigh up on me, man?
But that like does too much.
No, it doesn't.
We'll do that afterwards.
I just wanna
be like sophisticated. Okay, are you planning on having kids? Yeah, we've talked about having kids a lot, and I think that's definitely something that we want to do in our future. Am I right?
I need a couple of them ballers.
Yeah, Tyler tells me he wants me to be the mother of his kids all the time. And I want him to be the father of my kids, but we're not in a rush, we're young, and I feel like one of the biggest issues with relationships is there's so much pressure from society to get married and to have kids and, do it quickly, do it now. And we don't put that pressure on each other. Like, we're focused on our careers and building ourselves, like, as humans so that we can be the best parents we possibly can. So we are not in a rush. Am I supposed to be asking?
What concerns, if any, do you have of raising biracial children?
Let's put these two together. So that was one question, and then we also have, I'm a mixed child. How have you prepared yourself to bring a biracial child into the world? So that's like the same question, pretty much.
Okay. So how I would prepare, this is tough, but coming from where I came from, mixed kids get picked on. I mean, we just is what it is.
Yeah.
You learn how to cope with it. You learn how to grow from it. And you learn how to close certain things off. So how I would prepare them would be with like open-mindedness, love and care, but at the same time, I gotta give them a glimpse of what it's gonna look like. So I wouldn't say I'm gonna tear them down or anything, but you have to prepare them. You have to give them scenarios that will be real, like that will realistically happen, and break it down to them and give them concepts and methods on how to get through those things. Because it's so easy to just, buy into what some of the quote unquote cool kids are doing or what society's telling you to do. But when you have both parents, or when you have, the father figure in your life, it takes a little pressure off.
I think for me, with raising biracial children, first off, like, I felt from a really young age that one of my purposes in life was to raise biracial children. Like, I felt that from a very, very young age, and I don't take that lightly. Like, I know that I want to create different children. I want my kids to understand that they come from two beautiful cultures, and while the world is going to tell them that they're Black, when they come home, I want them to know that they have two deep, rich cultures, and their families, like their grandparents, will teach them that. And I think it's important too for me is there's so many stereotypes that come with being a white mom to mixed kids, and I have so many friends that are mixed, so we always have like the best conversations because I'm always digging in their brains, like, what's your relationship like with your mom? What could they have done better? How did you feel? And the most common things you hear are mixed kids feel like they're not white enough for the white kids and they're not Black enough for the Black kids. And colorism, like T-Bell was saying, is very real. And also they often say like their relationships with their mom are broken because their mom didn't understand, what they go through, or their mom doesn't admit that they have white privilege, or their mom, really struggles with, doing their hair or teaching them about being Black, or, and as a white woman, I'll never be able to teach my child what it's like to be Black or how to be Black or, how to face the world fully, because I personally will never know what that's like. But I am able to teach my child the power that they have, and because they are so powerful, the world is going to try and tell them that they are not, and they're going to try and take their power from them. And so I think it's like what T said, like what you do in the home is so crucial. The tools that you give your kids like changes everything. And so that's something that's really important to me, is not fitting, you know, I already don't fit in the status quo of the typical white woman that dates someone outside of her race, but even more so with kids, that's important to me. I will do my own kids' hair. I will teach my kids so many different things, and I will always support them and be there for them. And when the world is trying to strip them of their power, they can always count on me to be there for them.
Oh my God, golf clap, bravo.
Bravo, like the bougie folks.
Next question.
Okay.
You are just dropping too many gems on them. Okay, last question for you guys.
Oh yeah, we wanted to end on a positive.
What is one thing you love about being in an interracial relationship?
That word is so dumb, interracial.
I've never said that word as much.
Yeah,
I've never said that word since
video.
I filmed this video that much.
Okay, so I would say one thing I love about being with you. I'm gonna put it like that.
Let's just say it like that. Yeah. I mean, that's
like
how
that.
it came, but
yeah.
One thing I love about being with you
is that, oh, I might have a booger.
is that you let me check your boogers. That is so.
No, I would
does
say,
that?
I would say for me is that we have differences. And that's what's beautiful about any race or religion that is different from their partner coming together, like two different people coming together, is that you learn different things about different people. That's like I was saying, the more we're separate, the more problems and chaos we're gonna have. The more we unite, the less problems and more love we have, because you have empathy towards other people, their communities, their situations, what their ancestors have endured and gone through. So I think that's what's the most beautiful thing about being in an interracial relationship is differences, you know? Differences are beautiful. We're taught, I talk about that on my channel too, like being plus size, right? We're taught that that's different and it's bad and it's unattractive. But like, look how fine I am. No, but for real, you know what I mean? Like, I love differences. I want to embrace differences. And I think that's what makes me a really unique and dope human being, is I'm not put off by differences. So many people, especially in this country, are put off by differences. And it's bullshit. Differences are beautiful.
Differences are only created by closed-minded individuals. Let's just get that out.
Yeah.
Let's just get that out.
Yeah, it's true.
They're really...
They want to keep people in boxes, for sure. I got your back.
So,
I can finish your sentences.
So I would say one thing I love about being in this relationship is the yin and yang effect.
Yang?
Yang. So it's not yang. If you're American, we're so Americanized, it's not yin yang. It's yin yang. I definitely talk to some...
Tyler always knows the gems. You do.
But yeah, I just love our yin yang effect. It's a beautiful thing. It's cute. It's refreshing. It keeps me going daily. It keeps me happy. It keeps me, you know, it keeps me open-minded. It keeps me questioning things like, hey, why isn't this way? Why can't we do this that way? Or why does this have to be that way? You know, and then once we come together on it, then it's like I get her point of view, she gets my point of view, and then we're able to come together and create something new. I want to say thank you to you guys for tuning in today to our Q&A video. I think we touched base on some pretty good questions that a lot of people get asked, and common questions, you know what I mean? So I think we did a great job. I definitely want you guys to continue to like, comment, share.
Yes.
If there's any more, you know, Q&A type questions you guys want to give us, we may do some more down the
we're
road,
really
you know?
open to suggestions. Please comment your suggestions below. And like T-Bell said, definitely share this video. You know, if this impacted you or touched you, or you just thought it was a good video, we have good chemistry, please share it with your auntie, your grandma, your friend, your cousin, the neighbor down the street. Everyone you know, we really appreciate your support and loyalty. Well, we love you guys so much, and we're so grateful. If you watch this whole video, if you watch this entire video the whole way through, you're a real one, and we really rock with you. If you watch this whole video the whole way through, comment below, and we'll show you guys some love. Make sure you guys follow us on all our social media platforms. I will link our Instagrams and Twitters below. With that being said,
do we even need an outro?
We need an outro.
We really don't. We really don't. That's what we're gonna give y'all right there. That's what we're gonna give y'all. Peace.
We love you guys. See you next time.
Peace.